Alright, so we have come to our chicken lyonnaise. What I've done, I've cut our chicken breast in half to cut down on the cook time. And then we have our flour here and just 2 eggs that I've beaten. We're just going to flour, and into our already preheated pan of oil. You're just going to fry these up, turn about 10 minutes, maybe 5 each side, depending on how thick your chicken is. These won't take very long at all. What I've done for little spices for the flour, I have garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne, a little salt, pepper, and just a touch of rosemary. So we'll throw that in there. And you can do any combination you want. This is just one that I've thought of would be good. Nice flavors. It's just pretty typical for a breading. Alright, let's get these over. Start off, just get a nice coat. This is going to be your first one. It's going to help the egg stick to the chicken. Alright, go in there. Alright, then we're going to return it back to the flour. Once you have a pretty good coat on there, we can just set it here on our cutting board and go on to the next one. Alright, now the chicken's breaded. We're going to throw it in our pan after we do a quick little cleanup. I'll be right back. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and fry our chicken breasts. And you don't want to overcrowd your pan. You want to leave enough room for the chicken to cook and also brown. If you overcrowd your pan, it usually leads to the food actually steaming itself instead of actually frying. So like I said, it's a good thing that we cut these in half. They're cooking really fast, which is also good if you're pressed for time. You know, don't be afraid. You can peek a little bit, see how they're coming along. You just want to make sure you get a nice color on both sides. Alright, we're looking good on this first side. So you see, it was a simple breading that adds a little bit of a crunch and texture to your chicken. It's going to go great with the Lyonnaise sauce over top of it. And even if you're not hosting a Titanic dinner party, it's an easy dish to make. Everybody has chicken and the ingredients for the breading and onions. So it's usually one that if you're in a bind, it's a good family meal to make during the weekdays. It just doesn't have to be reserved just for that special occasion. And you can obviously use a bigger pan if you have one, if you're doing more chickens. Or if you have a higher number of people, it would be even better. Even a cast iron skillet is a good option to go for if you have one. And now all these chickens will kind of drop the temperature of oil, but don't feel you have to overcompensate by turning up the heat. You just let it simmer for a while and it will return after a bit. If you go ahead and find yourself turning it up, you may forget about it. You know, start burning the little bits at the bottom that we're going to use later for the sauce. So if you haven't already, you need to prep your oven to about 225. We have ours started, and so you're just going to throw these chickens in there. They're going to finish up and also act as a holding when you're going to make your sauce. Then you can just go straight, one pot dish, and kick it out to your folks. Alright, there we go. I'm going to start with these 4 and come back to those later. I'm going to get myself ready for the Lyonnaise sauce, and we'll see you back for the chicken Lyonnaise. Okay, now we are going to make the Lyonnaise sauce for our chicken. Chicken is in the oven, holding there. We have a little bit of oil left over and some of the brown bits, or fond, from the chicken. We're going to go ahead and add our onions in. You just want to cook these till they're translucent, they're soft. Sprinkle a little bit of thyme. pepper. And salt. Now you want to try to cook these onions on a medium-high, little medium heat if you're worried. You want to start caramelizing them and trying to draw out some of that sweetness from the onions. Okay, that's a good time. We're halfway there. We're going to throw in about a teaspoon of garlic. Actually, I'm going to go a little bit more. There we go. So about 2 teaspoons of garlic. If you're not a fan of garlic, you can leave it out. If you love garlic, you can go ahead and do more. Personal preference. Now we will come back to this when the onions have cooked down, and we will add in the remaining of our ingredients. Alright, now that our onions have got nice color on them, we're going to go ahead and add our white wine. Alright. We use that white wine to deglaze the pan to get any other remaining bits or caramelization that was on the bottom of the pan. And to add extra flavor to the onions also. Once most of that wine is gone, we're going to go ahead and add our tomato paste, our chicken stock, and just a little pinch of sugar. We'll go a little bit more on there. There we go. Alright, now that we've added our tomato paste, sugar, and chicken stock, we're just going to let it simmer with the onions when it reduces by half. And it should be coming along here pretty soon. But we'll come back to this when it has reduced by half. Alright, now that our sauce is reduced, we are ready to take our chicken out of our oven and just combine it to our sauce. There we go. Alright. We just cut the heat on this. Add our chicken. You just want to coat them in it, toss them around in the sauce, cover them in the onions. There we go. Alright. And there is the chicken lyonnaise. Next step is going to be the plating.